Brooklyn to the world.
Brooklyn.
And that.
Till we free.
Free mind.
Till we free. Welcome. And this is the Till We Free podcast. I know a lot of podcasts out there, they usually have everything written down, scripted out, T's crossed, I's dotted. But here, the Till We Free podcast, we like to go straight off the head, you know? This way it feels like it's more inviting. It doesn't seem like it's drawn out. This way it's more inviting to the listeners and to my guests and to me as the host. And I'm your host, Stephen Whidbee, aka Whidbee. And this is the first episode. The first episode I call Follow the Rabbit. And the reason why I say follow the rabbit is because growing up in the mean streets of New York City, they say that's the city that never sleeps. And I don't say mean because it's like it's harsh or it's dangerous. No, I say mean because it changes your perception of what the world has to offer. It changes your belief if you're not strong enough to stand on your own. The mean streets of New York City made me who I am today, and that's fact. Without a shadow of doubt, without New York City, I wouldn't be who I am, and I wouldn't be here today talking to you. You see, growing up, I always say I was born in hell. This is the cards God dealt me, but I always felt like I didn't belong here. There was much more out there. You see, where I'm from, you either sell drugs, you either rob, or you have a sport that you pick. There's no in between, there's no above, there's no underneath. You fit this bracket of who, I guess, society picked for you, society has laid out for you. But me, I was always a smart kid. I always knew how to hustle. I was always good in my academics. I was always good at sports. And I knew one day I would make it out, but I didn't know make it out to where. And as you all know, I'm a big fan of Alice in Wonderland. I'm a big fan of the White Rabbit. As you can see, the White Rabbit is my logo. And the White Rabbit has always been a vessel that takes your soul from this world to another world. And that other world, there's no limits to what you can think, what you can see, what you can feel, and what you can accomplish. It's up to you to bring back what you've learned to the reality that you're living in, the physical realm, as I say. But me, that White Rabbit, that was my hope to leave the situation that I was in. My mother was on drugs. My father wasn't there. I was the oldest of the house. Growing up in Roosevelt Projects, it was tough. 6 buildings. But my building, the 6th building, for some reason, nobody liked us. Nobody liked us. So it's always fighting, no matter what. And my escape from always fighting every single day was to go to another project over in Brownsville at my godmother's house. And what we do over there, fight. And if I wasn't in Brooklyn, I go over to the Bronx. And what we do in the Bronx, hustle, fight, get money. You know, same old thing. I felt like I needed an escape. I say the White Rabbit, or should I say follow the White Rabbit. It led me to thinking outside of the city limits of New York, outside of the city limits of New Jersey, outside of the city limits of Philly, what else is there? You see, a lot of people, I'm 40 years old, and a lot of people that I know have never left New York City. It's like a big dream. You know, like how everybody would say, oh, I want to go to Disneyland. No. I wanted to escape New York. I wanted to see the world. I want to live the world. I want to buy the world. This is something my younger brother Chris taught me. You see, I didn't have a plan. I didn't know how I was going to escape. I didn't have any money. I was stuck. I felt stuck. But I always had that dream inside that I was going to leave. Somehow, some way, I was going to leave. I was going to make it. During my senior year of high school, I guess you could say my white rabbit came, because this white rabbit came in the form of the United States Marine Corps. And it was a corporal telling me about the jobs that they can offer. And at this point in my life, I wasn't even thinking about jobs. I wasn't even thinking about basically anything. I just wanted to graduate. I wanted to leave New York. I asked him exactly straight up, because I'm from New York. You know, we about that money. I said, how much you make? I don't want to hear no games. I don't want to hear no joke about how much you could make. How much you make right now? At this time, he told me 30,000. You got to think, in the late 90s, early 2000s, 30,000 was a lot of money. And me only having $5 in my pocket, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take this. Next thing you know, I gave him my number. A recruiter contacted me, signed me up. You know, they bring you down to the recruiting station, pop in the video, try to brainwash you to get you motivated about going to boot camp in South Carolina, Paris Island. But I was like, nah, just turn it off. I don't need to hear none of that. I'm ready to go. Once I get my diploma, I'm out of here. I didn't care about anything else. Just me. I knew I needed to make it. This is my one shot that I had. That's why I say follow the white rabbit. Eventually, I leave New York. I head down south. 3 months of hearing people cry about how boot camp is hard, but I'm loving it. Why? Because I get to eat, roof over my head. I'm used to people screaming at me, but I made it. I felt like I made it. But who would have thought? I didn't make it yet. This is just the beginning. Of course, my whole mindset is changing because I'm in the military, but at the same time, I'm getting to see different people from all over the country and how they think and how they act and how they grew up, and it's shaping who I was going to become in the near future. This is why I say you got to take every lesson that God gives you as a blessing and understand. You might not understand it when it's happening, but eventually you will. I graduate, I head back up home. People looking at me, laughing at me because I'm different. I no longer believe in the same things they believe in. I'm different. But I still felt like I didn't make it. So I head to my A school, my basic training school for my job, Mississippi, Meridian. And once again, I'm loving it because I'm getting to be around people that I would have never been around if I didn't leave New York. Yes. It was cool. It was a good experience. I ended out west, California, of course, Oceanside, San Diego. A lot of ups and downs, but I'm maintaining because I know, yeah, I made it. I made it, meaning that I made it out of New York. I didn't make it in life yet, but I made it out of New York. That was one check off the box of life. Still I'm fighting demons, fighting the pain that I endured growing up, but I still remember. I followed this rabbit because at the end, I know it's going to lead me to something that's better for me in life. You see, a lot of people, they get blessings and they squander it. They don't cherish the moment. They just look past it, not knowing that it's a lesson to be taught. I say follow the rabbit, as I keep saying, follow the rabbit, is because you're never going to understand the moment that you're in and how it's going to shape and mold your life until you follow that rabbit. Here I am, over 20 years in California, and I finally felt like I made it. I finally feel like I'm in a position in life that I would have never lived if I didn't leave New York. Like Morbius told Neo, you can stay here or I can show you a whole different type of world. And me leaving and accepting this adventure, it made me a better person. It made me cherish life. It gave me a goal. I got discipline. I became fulfilled. It's rewarding, you know? I know going back home, a lot of people don't understand the mindset that I'm on. I still try to reach out and help people, and it's frustrating sometimes, but we all learn at our own pace, our own speed. But for me, there's so much more in this world that we all need to see. We more must accept that rabbit, you know? We all tend to look past the starting line at the finish line, but it's the journey that you must cherish. Now, the rabbit led me to California, couple L's, couple dubs, but I'm still standing strong. I have a son now. I have a beautiful girlfriend. I have a loving family. I'm financially stable. And if I never left, I probably would be dead or in jail or who knows, somewhere worse. But this is just the first episode. I wanted to share with y'all the mindset of why I say follow the rabbit till we free. My logo is the white rabbit, free mind the company, who I am, my beliefs. This call is the intro. Thank you for tuning in. And this is the first episode of Till We Free. Ha ha.